How's it going, everyone? Tyler Hopkins here with Timeout Branding. Hopefully you're having a beautiful day. What we're going to do in this video is we're going to go over what type of business should I start in 2020. What we're going to do is ask ourselves 4 questions that are going to give us a better idea of what type of product or business or project that we should get involved in based on what our answers are from these questions. Then I'll obviously apply what I've learned over the last 8 to 10 years doing my own little projects and stuff like that. And just a little bit about me. I'm a stay-at-home daddy. As you can see, I'm down here in the basement. I'm also a digital marketer. There's my son right there sleeping. So I probably have about 10 to 15 minutes or so. But that's the whole point of Timeout Branding, is for me to take a time out of my day to make content based around branding, based around business, help somebody else build their brand, essentially, which is probably why you're on this page and why we're going over what type of project or business you can start since it's December 2019 and we're going into the new year. And a lot of people have resolutions, they have projects that they want to launch or start. They might have a product that they've been thinking about starting a business around. So that's what we're going to do. We are going to take a time out of our day and we're going to go over some of these questions of things we've learned as we've been starting our different brands and businesses here at the Hopkins family. So the first question, I used to have this covered, but I was like, screw it. If people want to know what we're going to cover, this is what it is. So what business would you enjoy making the most? So you're going to ask yourself that. How many hours per day can you work on this business? What business can you grow over 5 years? So this helps you think long term. Do you have any skills you can share with the world, or that you would want to share with the world? And these are some questions that are going to help you understand, if you should launch a business, what business you should launch, how much time you have. Is it something you're actually going to enjoy? And let's go into it. So what type of business would you enjoy? So for this, you have to think. If you're going to be launching a business yourself, you have no bosses. So you dictate when you work, if you work, how hard you work, what you work on. So you have to pretty much be able to motivate yourself. So launching a business or a project, it has to be something you enjoy, or you're not going to do it. I'm pretty sure we've all had a class in school that we didn't enjoy. We probably didn't do very good at it. If you've had a class that you really enjoyed, I'm pretty sure you did very good at it. And that's the same thing with business. We want to do something we're going to enjoy so that we're good at it and we can give a lot of value back to the market or your audience. Another question that's going to be very important, especially for me as a stay-at-home father, maybe you're in school, maybe you have 2 other jobs you're working on, is how many hours per day can you work on this business? This is also going to give you more realistic goal setting moving forward. Like, if you only have a couple hours a night you can work on something, well, then you need to base your growth off of that. You can't assume that you're going to be this $1 million business in a year or 2 if you can't even focus in on it full time, hire staff, and scale it and build it appropriately to get those results. So you need to have realistic expectations based around how many hours can you work on something per day. For instance, Immunity is one of many projects that I'm working on as a solo entrepreneur and as somebody who has other projects that I need to work on. I pretty much have 2 or 3 hours a night. That's why I kind of say that. And how I spend that time is going to be very important. And how I scale the business is also going to be important. That's why I wanted to do a product, because I can scale this nice and slow. And then once we get to that certain point to where I need more than 2 hours a night to build this brand, well, then I either need to move one of the other projects off my plate or potentially hire somebody else who can help me out with some of those hours. So number 3, what business can you grow over 5 years? So this is going to help you with understanding a long-term play. So not thinking short-term. So yes, you might be into fitness right now, this month, in the beginning of the year, But if it's not something you can build over 5 years, I wouldn't recommend you getting involved, because some businesses can take, 5 to 10 years before it reaches that level to where you can retire or you can just focus on that business. And a lot of people, they want that super quick. They want to work on a business for a month or two and be able to quit their other job. Like, that's not going to happen unless you spend 5 or 6 hours a night building your side project to be able to replace your income. And a lot of people won't be able to do that. So I like to tell them to think a long-term plan. What's a business that they can do over 5 years? Have you been into fitness for the last 5 to 10 years? Is that something that you can build nice and slow? Maybe you're a personal trainer. You want to build your business over the next 5 to 10 years. So just think about something you're going to enjoy building for 5 years. Don't think short term, think long term. Do you have any skills you want to share with the world? So this is almost a two-part. So do you have any skills? Because a lot of people do have skills. Like, I've had skills, but I haven't wanted to share it with the world until about right now. So that's why I'm putting out more content. Looks like Jameson's waking up a little bit, so we might have to go here soon. He should put himself back to sleep, so we'll just take a time out here real quick. We'll go over the next one. Actually, we are on the last one, so we could be wrapping it up. In case, I'll just pause it and then come back to it. But anyways, what skill set? So for me, it's always been branding, marketing, but I've been using it on, projects like for my mentor, for my brother, for just people that I've known. They have businesses, so I've been using my skill set whenever they need help. I've launched a couple side projects before in the past. Some have taken off, some haven't. Which brings me to what I'm doing now. So this is another little side project that I can work on, which is based around the skills that I have, which is marketing, and I enjoy it. And now I think I'm at the point to where I kind of want to share it with the world, because I'm thinking more long term over the next 5 years of, if I start building this brand, start helping out other people build their brands, help them make their logo, help them make their website. I can do that over the next 5 years and start building up an audience, a rapport, to where I could stop some of my other side projects and just focus on doing stuff like this. So this is going to be a long-term play also. So let's wrap it up. So let's bring it all back together. So it's almost 2020, people. I know we all have these different projects we might want to launch. At the end of the day, it has to be something we're going to enjoy. Because if we don't enjoy doing it, especially you as a solo entrepreneur, it's going to be really hard for you to create those hours in the day to where, you could be sleeping, you could be with family, to actually focus in on, growing your brand or your project. It has to be something you enjoy. You have to figure out how many hours of the day you can work on it. For me, I'm trying to figure out, or making videos while he's napping, the best use of my time, because at night I get tired. I probably don't have a lot of energy to make more valuable content, so I'm trying to figure out my balance also, because at night I could do more of the editing, maybe finish up some of the other projects that I'm working on. So I have to also balance my day with being a stay-at-home parent, being a husband, helping out around the house, working on 2 projects for people that I work for, also any kind of projects that I'm working on. So I have to figure out how I can utilize my hours as well, and grow it over 5 years to figure out, what you're going to want to do for 5 years. Me is definitely going to be marketing. Not sure what project it's going to be. That's why my overall brand is the Hopkins Projects, because my projects are always going to change, but they're always going to be related to business and marketing. So I'm growing it more long term for that reason. And then again, what skill set do you have? Like, some people are really good at cooking, or they're really good at barbecuing. They have, all these different recipes that are very unique, certain temperatures, using certain woods, smokes, herbs, rubs, and all that good stuff. I'm making myself hungry. And other people have other skills, like you could be really good at playing video games. You could be really good at a certain game, a certain gun, on a certain map. I remember watching a lot of people were making content back in the day of people on Call of Duty just going around knifing people. Some people got really, really good at just going around knifing people and made a bunch of content around that. So just think, like, what kind of skill set would be fun for you to play around with. Like, you don't have to launch a business just because there's potential money in it, because that's definitely the wrong reason to get into something, because it doesn't fit with these questions. Like, just because you make money at it does not mean you're going to enjoy doing it. There's plenty of people who have to work their ass off physically and they make really good money, but they don't enjoy doing that. They enjoy the money. They don't enjoy the work of it. So they're not going to grow over 5 years. They're going to probably wear themselves out. And if you just focused on money, what are you going to do for, 2 hours a night that's really going to reach a lot of money? I don't know. Like, unless you have some crazy skill set to where you can just work a couple hours a night, maybe that is a product. Maybe you are a ninja at marketing. You can launch a product and just spend a couple hours a night over 5 years. Maybe by the 5-year mark, you can be $1 million business. Ooh, how about that? Would you like that? Yeah? Well, can you do it for 5 years? I don't know. Can you? All right. And then what kind of skill set did you want to share with the world? Some people don't want to share their skill set with the world. You might have skills like you're a very good gardener or a farmer, and you don't want to share it with the world. Screw everybody else. They can figure it out for themselves. But you'll just make money off of growing that product or whatnot. So anyways, Jameson's awake, and we will cut it off here. Hopefully everybody has a great New Year's, in case you don't see another video out of me until then. But some of the other videos we'll be covering, if you've lasted here to the 12-minute mark, is we're going to be going over how to make logos, how to make websites, pretty much all the other parts of starting your business in 2020. So I just want to be one of those resources that you can go to that has all of the information that you might want based around building a brand. What are some questions that you should ask yourself before starting a business? Then we'll go over making logos. We'll go over making different graphics. Here's a lot of other graphics that I've made on some of the other projects we've worked on. So that's what we'll go over. So enjoy. Love you all.